How is up, everyone? It's your boy, a big ass skull! And today, we will analyze the Halloween banner featuring some more exciting power creep and a flying healer in the form of Mia, who produces the best sound in the entire world. Wah! I can't believe they actually featured her with that noise. IS sure knows how to tickle my fancy. You know, I bet they were just watching my videos and decide, oh yeah, let's give this guy a flying healer who makes a strange ass sound, and trying to drag me back from Dragalia loss and spending money with them again. Well, you know, maybe when they finally get their shit together with game content instead of just producing power creep or something, you know, maybe I'll consider that. But for now, I think I'm not going to waste money to plus 10 her. Maybe I'll wait till a legendary banner or something, but I'm not gonna do it right away. So, I've been thinking about the wonders of flying healers for a good while now. How they can act as medevacs. Or for those of you who didn't play StarCraft 2, flying healer transports that carries people across the map and also heal them. My original plans was something truly deplorable, where a flying healer will drop off my infantry healers into all sorts of different battlefields and pain plus them all to death, you know. In the pipe, 5x5, blah, all the pain in the whole face. Given that healers have no reposition skills, this is a godsend to me. You know, so why am I not going to actually plus 10 her despite wanting a flying healer for so long? Well, how do I go about answering that? So many different reasons. Well, for starters, take a look at this banner. We're staring down at 3 different armored units again. And with a Myrrh will more than likely be 180 BST. Great! You know, I actually like Halloween Nino too, so this banner should be my ideal. Unfortunately though, I find myself not willing to support IS any longer, seeing how they've turned this game into armored emblem heroes. I guess I'll go into more details with that when I talk more about 180 BST Tiki and Myrrh later, since we're supposed to be analyzing Halloween units today. Okay, so anyway, flying healers. Naturally, they also give the wonders of emblem buffs and better movement on the map, which was what made horse healers better in the first place. Now, given the way flyers are in this game, you don't even have to worry about archers all that much so long as you have other flyers to toss you out. Like, okay, take Spring Camilla for example. She was out like really early last year as our first tome flyer. Now, despite all the power creep that's been going on over the years, the deadly hone flyer blade tome combo stood well against the test of time. And if she doesn't have enough damage for some reason, all she needs to do is pick up her cell phone and call her posse of flyers and give her some more gold flyers. And then if her normal form is involved, well, here's another 3 more. So now that we have a healer, a flying healer with this, you quickly realize that her defensive stats are completely irrelevant. Because unlike Spring Camilla, Mia can just dazzle through all that and chunk her opponent to death. And if she fails to kill somehow, well, Camilla will just pick her up and toss her salad backwards. No harm at all. While her opponent is just crippled beyond belief. So, believe me, this is an extremely deadly unit. Being colorless means she won't be hindered in dishing out tremendous amount of pain. And unlike cavalry healers, you don't have to worry about the terrain whatsoever. So unless someone runs Raven Tome, but nobody does that anymore, except the AI in Grand Hero battles, she'll wreck everything. She'll do her work just fine at +0. You don't even need a +10 unless you don't really like spending money, which, you know, I do, but I have my principles. So, in all honesty, Just the unit type itself is enough to make this by far the most OP unit in this banner. And since the unit in question is Mia, she'll be fast. And you are more than likely to get erased if this thing doubles you. Unless, I guess, you use Worry Fighter. But in general, there's really nothing you can do about it. Alright, so now on to the skills. That Witchy Wand will break the game! That is, if you can even read the text without breaking your eyes! Because that is some next level Yu-Gi-Oh shit right there. So, why is that so? Well, simple really, I mean, just think about it. After getting hit by the evil forces of wah, all of a sudden, your enemy and their friends within 2 spaces lost all their charged up specials. Okay, now think. What type of activities involve charged up specials? Oh, I know! Grand Hero Battles, for example. The boss unit usually has a fully charged or nearly charged skill ready to ram into your skull. And with this, you have just negated this threat. And what else? Alright, in the arena, for example, you have infantry poles or shield poles or something like Ophelia ready to dunk your ass in one go. Well, wah! And you have just negated this threat. Miracles will break. Wah! Ether will break. Wah! And if you're planning on building up for Gale Force, wah! That too will break. And as if to add insult to injury, the afflicted targets that will receive a god debuff. So after a wah, they can't even generate further skill charges unless they have something like heavy blade or fighter skills. And at a reduced pace too, most of them won't even proc properly. With this setup, you can practically create invincible armies because skills are the lifeblood of getting kills. Hey, that rhymes. Wah! Alright, so the rest of her kit is nothing special. Speed Res Bond is pretty hot garbage, and as I've said before, her defensive stats are irrelevant. Once attack and speed solo becomes a thing, slap that onto her and call it a day! And then we have Hone Flyers. Forever locked to 5 stars. I don't get why that remains the case even after all these years. I mean, Mia would much rather be the one getting the Hone Flyer buffs than, well, she giving it to others, thank you very much. I would not sacrifice her for Hone Flyers, by the way, not when you have such an OP transferable staff. So to this end, Halloween Mia is a great unit and a great fodder. The fodder part probably makes it hard for me to plus 10 even if I were to spend money. This is a new toy for the 6 Paths of Pain Plus. Now, let us end our assessment of her with a close-up of her assets. Next up, we have the so exciting and original armored green dagger unit Kagero. Colored daggers and colored bows are a mistake. Now let's see what she's got. Alright, a dagger that reduces enemy charge each time she hits. I guess that's good, but hardly anything compared to simply just using God, or using a special fighter and then running something aggravating like Smoke Dagger, or something that'll allow you to do extra damage to dragons and infantry. Whenever they decide to buff that Poison Dagger anyway. Anyway, it's an awful dagger compared to the other choices you have, though I guess it could be okay if it actually removes pre-charge skills. That way, Kagero can actually attack something without getting killed by something weird, perhaps. But I'd much rather just one-shot these doggons, you know. I think that'd be better. Anyway, given Kagero's stats history and her kit, it's safe to assume that she'll probably have tons of attack and a bit of a resistance. She might still be decently fast, but that boring-ass bold fighter probably puts her somewhere in the early or middle 30s. Either way, with a setup like that, you should really be considering using the damage-effective daggers, like I said. Instead, just rip the Dargon meta to shreds. Now, finally, she comes with the even attack wave, which, again, is It's mainly for infantry, or if you want to solo grand hero battles or something. I'm really not interested in that series of skills. Not interested at all. So my grade for Halloween Kagero, meh. She's really got nothing aside from Bold Fighter. And being a green dagger really sucks. Having hit physical in the first place and dealing with the weapon triangle is a ton of pain, you know? Though having access to dragon slaying weapons in itself though really does allow her to put an end to guys like, for example, Homeless Tiki with a 180 BST, so that gives her some use at least. Alright, next up we have West Niles Virus, clad in armor, or armor, and using a rather ridiculous blue bow. He is completely inferior to Halloween Jacob for this reason alone, by the way. The Buster Butler can unleash ridiculous chunks of non-negotiable damage to the enemy, while Niles will likely flounder against the ever-common green units. Not to mention, unless they give Niles an overhaul or some next-level power creep, his attacks will also likely be rather pitiful compared to Jacob. The bow he carries is the same garbage as the one Kagero has, and even worse so due to the fact that stuff like Fire Sweep or Brave Bow exists. I mean, look, I like the idea of reducing cooldowns, but that's really not what guys like them should be doing. As for his skills, Swift Sparrow is sleep at this point. I don't care if he's the other male unit that carries it, who cares? It's a sleepy ass skill, so just put it away. Now, attack and speed link is rather woke. Now that will allow for some nasty setup for other characters besides Niles, like, say, if given to Legendary Lucina for example. She could just use her future vision, swap, I can move again, but with 6 attack and 6 speed. But that skill, I think, is too good for poor Niles. Fortify armor? What are we, Sheena or something? Well, as you can see here, my assessment is that, I guess, Niles make for decent fodder thanks to that attack speed link. But if you want a deadly bow armor, if you want the unit itself, you should probably revisit Buster Butler if he shows up another time. And finally, we have Halloween Nino, Myrrh herself. No doubt going to sport that disgusting 180 BST again. She'll be another blight in the arena that you should really get used to seeing. Now, unlike Homeless Tiki, she will also get the benefit of receiving blessings herself and becoming even stronger. Now, her Spirit Breath is a reverse of her original Great Flames, in that if she has 5 more defense than her enemy, she'll be able to dish out a double, indicating her likelihood to have great defenses. Meanwhile, she comes with Vengeful Fighter, so that she can also double on the enemy face as well. It's a rather deadly setup, but so boring, much like armor units these days. While running both does allow Myrrh access to her seals along with dual phase, I think it's best to run her with a B slot like, for example, Desperation, to achieve the dreaded state of Halloween Despacita and really take advantage of the guaranteed double attack. This, on top of her ability to hit resistance instead of defense, makes her a very, very deadly opponent to face on the offense. Now, if you really want a dual face, you can just slap on Quick Repulse in that seal slot, and then you'll have a deadly all-rounder who can crush you before you can even counterattack. Okay, so other samples you can try is, you can try using Bold Fighter on her. That way, she can even break past Legendary Marth's Dragon Breaker and send him straight to the Shadow Realm, thanks to his low resistance. And also ditto for things like Worry Fighter or Thunder Armads. These guys will not be able to stop you from doubling if you have a Bold Fighter on top of this. Alternatively, you can also take a page off of Ephraim and run something like Special Fighter to ruin the enemy's day by reducing their special and increasing yours. So yeah, this is a very aggressive weapon with a ton of killing potential. However, meh. I actually much rather like Great Flames, honestly, instead for its ability to deny double sometimes. Now, what is the primary weakness of armor units? The fact that they get doubled on. So say the aforementioned Mia were to make an attack on Myrrh with some wonderful razzle-dazzle, she would have instead survived. And then she'll have Mia for dinner. If given Bold Fighter and Quick Repulse seal, she could still perform a very deadly dual phase that will still tear people apart to shreds, except that her survivability will go way up. So, let's be thankful for small favors that she's equipped with a weakness so that you can take her out before anything stupid happens. Other than that though, Myrrh doesn't really have anything else special, just your standard armor fare with Armor March. Well, and that's about it for my analysis of the Halloween banner. Intelligence System once again decides to show us that this game has become Armor Emblem heroes. But you know what? At the very least, Mia is actually rather special, and her staff is inheritable to boot. So she's definitely the star of this banner, and is very, very much worth going through colorless hell to get her. I have a bunch of free-to-play orbs saved up, so I'm gonna go and try to summon her. I don't even think I might do that, but we'll see what happens. I just want like 1 or 2, maybe 3. 3's a bit much, but hopefully I get 3, in which case I have two of them to give as fodders and 1 to actually use. But 2 would be most ideal. Yeah, that would be most ideal. Let's see how things become. If it became another one of those 900 free-to-play orbs for 2, then yeah, we have a problem. We have a problem, Intelligence System. We have a huge problem. I think I am not going to do that. I won't put myself through that. Anyway, that's about it for my little thing for today. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.